Hello friends, so far we have understood Python basic concept like variable and data types in detail. But a program becomes meaningful only when it had take input from the user and shows the output for the same. In this video, we will learn Python input and output in a completely practical way. First, let's talk about output. In Python, we use the print function to display output on the screen. Anything you want to show over to the user, text or a calculation is done using a print function. Now let's see by an example. So let's right now talk about the print function. I have like already opened the PyCharm IDE over here. I'm creating a new file which is named as an output.py. Okay, then I'm saving this file right now. I'm writing the code over here to demonstrate the print function. So basically, print is a way in Python, whatever we if you want to print on the terminal. Suppose I'm printing hello Python over here and saving the code, and then I'm trying to execute the file. I will get as an output as an hello Python. Whatever seems to be I need to print on the terminal, then I basically use the print function from the Python. But make sure this is not only way that a print function is only used for printing the string type of characters or the alphabets. We can also evaluate mathematical expressions as well over here. Like this, if I'm putting 10 plus 5 and using a print function, then if I run it again, now this time I will get hello Python plus 15. See, whatever the output if you want to print on the screen, then definitely we are going to use the print function. Now let's talk about another important concept, that is formatting output. In real programs, printing raw value is not sufficient, and to understand the code better, the output should be clear, readable and meaningful for the user. For example, I am showing on the screen right now, just check it. If I only print output as in Python and the 25, it is not user friendly, but it is technically right, but is not user friendly. That's why we format the output using the labels like name, age, total, or result. There are two ways that we can do the operation. The first way is called as an string concatenation, and the another way is called as an f string. For both of the approaches, I have like shown a small code of snippet over the screen right now. Now, in the next thing, I will explain them in the practical approaches as well. Now, let's see both of the concept in practically right now. We'll talk more in details about concatenation and f-string right now. I have like already opened the PyCharm window over here. I'm creating a new file over here right now, which is as a named as a concat. Okay. Now I'm writing a code of snippet over here, and then I will explain how the concatenation and the f-string exactly works over the same code. So I'm using a name variable over here, defining a value with Python, and defining another variable as an age, and defining a value with 25. Then if I'm going to perform a concatenation operation over here, then I'm using the print function to print the value on the terminal. So for making more prettier, I'm using the labels, then plus the variable name which I want to print it, name, and then I want another label, that is age, and putting some spaces between to make it more look good, and then I'm using the age. Now let me just explain what is the problem over here right now. Now see, as this name and age are of two different data types. Name is of string data type and age is of integer data type. In Python, there is a restriction that we cannot concatenate two different data types, string with the integer. So if I try to run this code, it will give me an error, or like it will not run execute properly, or a garbage value will get generate. So for to protect that, I want a correct value. So I'm using a string conversion over here. I'm putting that age value into a string data type. Then I'm saving it. If I now run the code, it will execute as accepted. Name is like Python, name Python, age 25. it printed in the similar way. Now, let me talk more about the concatenation. It is like quite unreadable and a longer expression to do such unsmall things over here. So it is not preferably suggested to do handle in the large scale projects. So there is another approach which is named as an F string. So the same code which I can show in the using F string as well. So if I use the print statement, and for defining the F string, I am using the F variable, small f with its double quotes. Then all the things which I want to print it, that I can print it exactly. Name as a label, and for printing any dynamic value or values which I want to print it on the terminal, that I want to define in the curly brackets. Like here I want to print the name and then the age as well. So like this I can define it. The expression is totally different, but the output look likes the same. So over here, see, the output is totally same, but just the way of writing the code is optimal and readable. And to update you more over details, in large scale project, more of the things we use the f-string concept rather than as compared to the concatenation operations. So this is the detailed practical example of both of these topics. Now let's talk another important concept, that is Python input using the input function. To take a data from the user, Python provides the input function. When the program runs, input function wait for the user to enter a value. This is how we keep an interactive approach between the user and the code. And here I have already demonstrated on the screen the code of snippet over here. Here I have used a name variable. I am using the input function, and that input function is accepting enter your name as a string. And I'm using the print function as well over here, and then I'm printing that value over the terminal right now. So basically whatever the value will pass to the name variable, that will get passed to the print function, and that will get displayed. So this is an interactive approach between the user and the code. Now let's see by an example how the Python input function exactly works. So I'm creating a file over here right now, which is named as an input.py. Then I'm writing a code over here, a small code. Then I will explain that code in detail one by one. Just bear with me. I'm using a name variable over here, and then I'm using the input function, and there I'm typing enter your name. Okay, and then I'm using the print function to print that name. Here I'm not using the string; it is auto suggested, so ignore that. So for the printing of this, okay, let's just make it with the f string right now to make it more convenient and save the time. So this is the thing. If I try to run the code right now, Python, and then the input.py, so you can see it is asking for the name for us. If I'm printing the Python over here and pressing the enter key, then I will get the Python as an hello Python. Why? Because uh, input function always wait for the user to enter the input, then it will perform the rest of the operations. And one more important thing I want to talk about the input function. In Python specifically, input function have an only a return type, which is a string data type only. I can prove it here or as well. Like in the previous video we have seen, if you want to check any data type of any variable, then we can use the type keyword. If I want to print the name type, then I save the code, and if I run it again then you can see if I'm entering the value as an Python, then I'm hitting the enter key. Now see here, before printing that hello Python, it print the type. So it clearly said that input function always return an str type of data type. So this is the way that we can use an interactive way using the Python input function. So friends, till right now we have learned how to display output using the print function, how to take a input using the input function, and how to convert input into a correct data types. In the next video, we will see more about comments and code readability. If you found this helpful, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and press the bell icon. Stay tuned for more Python tutorial. See you in the next video.